Rahul Gandhi has reacted to the stunning win and the stunning defeat in Haryana. The Haryana twist, where the BJP is set to form the government for a consecutive third term. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo Story. We are decoding the mandates of Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana. The Prime Minister has addressed party workers late last evening, and Naib Singh Saini, the incumbent chief minister, is widely believed to be the next chief minister as well. Meanwhile, Mr. Gandhi has reacted to what he called the unexpected results and also spoken about forwarding complaints that he's received from candidates to the Election Commission. Remember that the Congress said it doesn't accept the Haryana result, even as its ally, the National Conference, celebrates in Jammu and Kashmir, where Omar Abdullah is all set to be the next chief minister, but is also talking about a constructive relationship with the centre and the prime minister. But it's Haryana that really has everybody talking. How did everybody get it so wrong? Vinesh Phogat's victory may have given the Congress some reason to smile, but otherwise, this has been a state which even many Congress supporters are calling a self-goal. Was it an over-reliance on the Hudas that did them in, or are there other factors, including the BJP's much more effective micromanagement? To talk about all of this and more, our newsmaker today is Sanjay Kumar, leading political analyst and, of course, somebody who has done many surveys of his own. Sanjay ji, let's start with what can only be called a stunning win for the BJP in Haryana. A number of people have offered a number of theories, but the fact is that this is in complete contradiction of what the exit polls had in fact forecast, what reporters had forecast, what pundits had forecast. Rahul Gandhi, in his first reaction today, he had no reaction yesterday immediately after the results, has said that he will be forwarding complaints received by Congress candidates to the Election Commission. Jairam Ramesh officially said they don't accept the result. But the fact is, the election is over. The BJP is set to form the government for the third time. What is your take on the Haryana twist?
First, I don't fully agree to the allegations being made that some EVMs were 90% charged, some EVMs were 1% charged, and all several such allegations which we have been hearing since yesterday. Look at the vote share estimates of the two parties. Not that Congress didn't perform well. Congress did perform very well compared to 2019 Assembly election. Congress has managed to add 12% votes to its vote share of 2019. So Congress went up. I think what they missed is the preparation of BJP, that BJP also managed to add 3% more votes compared to its vote share of 2019 Assembly election. Yes, it is true that if you compare the 2014 Lok Sabha elections and 2014 Assembly elections, and then 2019 Lok Sabha elections and 2019 Assembly elections in Haryana, BJP has always performed much worse compared to its performance in the Lok Sabha elections in terms of vote share. That didn't happen this time. But the only fact that, the results are not in consonance with the perception which got created that Congress is heading for a big victory, we should have question marks on the EVMs, etc. So the Congress managed to increase the support base, but I think it was not enough for the party to give party a victory. I kept thinking about what kind of a parallel we could draw, and I think I figured out a couple of other parallels. Remember 2022 Assembly elections in UP. So the big narrative was that Samajwadi Party is coming and winning election. Samajwadi Party also improved the vote share, but it couldn't cross the majority mark. So my own sense is that while Congress got swayed away by the perception which got created that Congress is winning elections, BJP closed their ears and the eyes about the perception being created. And it seems that the BJP workers really worked hard on the ground. And we now see the results.
Now, many different theories have been offered, including the one you just said, that the BJP focused on micromanagement, the Congress got complacent. Another theory is that perhaps the very visible presence of the Huda family at the front line of the campaign, the relative marginalization of Kumari Sailaja, led to a counter consolidation of caste votes. I don't know if the data is granular enough for us to draw that conclusion right now. But that is certainly a theory we're hearing again and again. Even Yogendra Yadav, in an interview to me, he said he got it all wrong. And he offered this as one theory, that perhaps the apprehension among other voters became that a Congress win would become all about one family and one caste.
To a great extent, yes. Because if I look at the Jat vote got tilted in favor of the Congress. But if you look at other sections of the voters, there is a... So in which sections Congress gained over the BJP? The Jats, the Jatavs, Muslims, which are 7% of the total voters of Haryana, and the Sikh, which are just 4% of the total voters. But if you look at BJP's massive inroads among the upper caste, the Punjabi Khatris, the Yadav voters, and few other sections of the voters, including the OBCs. So yes, there was a counter polarization, and you can look at the vote share estimate of the two parties. So there was a counter polarization. There could be several reasons for that. One you have already stated, and the second reason also because I think there was a kind of a fear that the arrogance, not the fear, the arrogance. I think Bhupendra Huda, even during the counting, if you look at the the posturing, etc., it was complete arrogance that like, you are winning election, there's no contest at all. And since I have been able to give tickets to large number of my candidates, I am going to be the chief minister. So this arrogance didn't work very well on the ground. We did ask a few questions about the infightings within the Congress, and how did the people see on the ground. And a very large number of people in our survey did say that the infighting within the Congress will damage the Congress. I think that is what has happened on the ground.
Now, Kumari Sailaja did not poll very high in surveys that asked who's your first choice for chief minister, but she remains a very significant, recognizable face of the Congress in Haryana, a Dalit leader. And the Congress probably hoped that the return, the Ghar Wapsi of Ashok Tanwar at the last moment from the BJP to the Congress might checkmate that. But do we have some understanding of whether the Dalit vote also did not, in a sense, support the Congress, either because they felt their own leader was slighted, or they felt this sort of fear of the domination of the Jat community? What is your take on that?
I think the proportion of Dalit vote which Congress hoped to get, Congress did not manage to get the sizable number of Dalit vote. The Dalit vote got divided between the BJP and the Congress. There would be several factors, because several reasons for that. One you have already stated, because Shailaja at times kept not criticizing, but didn't look like that Kumari Shailaja was campaigning wholeheartedly for the Congress party. So I think the point which I mentioned earlier, the infighting within the Congress leadership, especially I'm referring to Bhupendra Huda and Kumari Shailaja, that may have hurt the Congress when it comes to the Dalit vote. As I said, the Dalit vote did not go to the Congress in as sizable number as they would have expected.
Now, the BJP, of course, has a very comfortable majority, but some attention should be paid to the others. The INLD and the BSP together managed to pick up 6% of the vote. The Aam Aadmi Party did not really register much of a presence, but in terms of vote share, gets close to 2%. Questions are being asked about the role of these smaller parties, the role of independents, because as you mentioned, vote share, the Congress and BJP were very close. It was the Congress's failure to convert this increase in vote shares to a significant number of seats that cost it. How do you look at these smaller parties?
So I think the discussion is going on if Congress has managed to form an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. Would that have made a difference for the Congress? Certainly, it would have helped the Congress, but not to a great extent. You have already mentioned that the Aam Aadmi Party's vote share is just 1.8%. That may not have been sufficient for the Congress to register a victory or snatch victory away from BJP, which BJP has managed to register now. There are other theories going on that there are large number of constituencies which Congress lost because the independents or the rebels managed to get sizable number of votes. I looked at the data. There are 17 constituencies of that kind. There are 21 constituencies where Congress lost with smaller number of votes compared to the votes polled by the third player in that constituency. And the third player could be an independent or could be a leader from other political parties. But when I looked at the data more carefully, on these out of these 21 constituencies, there were only 17. If BJP, if third player was not there, and assuming that all the votes would have come to the Congress, BJP would have been able to defeat BJP in about 17 such seats. But when I look at the same figures for the BJP, it is 12 constituencies. So it's not a big deal. So in total, there are, just to put the data clearly, there are 35 constituencies where the victory margin is less than the votes polled by the third player in that constituency, and the third player in most of the seats are the independent. But it is so evenly distributed that even if we assume that the votes of the third party would have got transferred to the number 2 in that constituency, it would have gave Congress 17 victories, but it would have gave BJP's 12 victories. So it's all speculation. It's without any evidence that the third player or the independents damaged Congress prospect. I still believe that Congress did well, but the BJP did much better compared to what people expected.
So this theory about the narrow margins and the smaller parties and the independents, this is a very important data point from you, that while it certainly did hurt the Congress in about 17 seats, it also hurt the BJP in about 12 seats.
Absolutely.
So net, that doesn't actually explain the result. The question then is, did everybody get it wrong? Or were the issues on the ground very real? Was this an election that was for the Congress to win, that in a way it got too overconfident about?
So if I have to figure out one big factor which led to Congress defeat, it's overconfidence. I still don't believe that the issues of Pahalwan, Kisan, Naujawan was not present. These issues were there on the ground. But I think the problem was that Congress believed that these are the three issues which will be sweeping across the state, would be a matter of concern for all the voters. I think they misread this message. While this was an issue for sections of voters, mainly belonging to the Jat community, but there were other sections of the voters belonging to different other caste communities who endorsed BJP's work done in the state on several other issues. And these were like Bijli Pani Sadak, school, hospitals, etc. So in total, if I look at, half of the voters actually went along with the Congress narrative of Pahalwan, Naujawan, Kisan, their anxieties about those, but there were other voters who were not swayed away by these issues because these issues may not have concerned them. So they went ahead, looked at what they have been able to get. Their families have been able to benefit from the welfare schemes. So they sided with the BJP. And if you look at the vote share, that gives you some indications of what happened on the ground.
Yeah. Let's turn briefly towards Jammu and Kashmir. Again, in contradiction of several exit polls, Jammu and Kashmir had a very clear verdict, a very clear lead for the National Conference of the Congress, and effectively it was the victory of the National Conference, because the Congress was expected to pull its weight in the Jammu region, where it picked up only one seat. And my question to you is that if you look at Jammu and Kashmir, there the discussion is not numerical. It is more about reconciling two different regions, whether 370 will return as an issue. But there is also a question there about the role of the Congress. Omar Abdullah was on record to me and others saying the Congress did not pull its weight in Jammu. The Congress benefited from the National Conference alliance in the Kashmir Valley, but the National Conference did not benefit from the Congress in the Jammu region.
No, absolutely. One word also applies for the Congress in Jammu and Kashmir as well: overconfidence. Overconfidence killed the Congress in Haryana, and because of overconfidence, Congress suffered even in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah. And when you look at what's happened in Jammu and Kashmir, we're also looking at a very interesting political situation where Omar Abdullah, as an opposition leader, will is already saying I'll have to work with the center. There are other India alliance leaders now who are already talking about don't make the same mistakes in Maharashtra. Looking ahead at the impending assembly elections, do you believe the Congress has lost some elbow room with its allies as it enters the next set of assembly elections?
No, certainly, the advantage Congress would have gained after winning Haryana would have been massive over its alliance partner. But now, since Congress has not been able to win election, so they would be certainly under some pressure from its allies. On your first question, I think a person who is going to be the chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir, why Jammu and Kashmir, any other state, I don't think it would be appropriate for that man to say, no, no, I would be at loggerhead with the center. So it is appropriate on the part of any leader becoming the chief minister of a state to say that I have to work with the center and I have to resolve the issues of the state going along with the center, coordinating with the center.
Let's talk in the end about the big national picture. You know, when pollsters were saying that Haryana was going to go to the Congress, the BJP was going to lose, they were also pointing out that the Prime Minister had, addressed very few rallies in Haryana compared to, let's say, 2014. Four, I think, this time to 10 in 2014. And perhaps the BJP thought they were going to lose and they didn't want Mr. Modi to be the face of it. What happens now to the brand Modi debate? There were many who believed that after the Lok Sabha result, the brand was diminishing. Then these assembly elections were forecast to go a certain way and they haven't gone that way. What happens now to the debate around brand Modi?
I would not buy the argument or the narrative that this is a victory of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Haryana. I think up till now, from Haryana election, I don't get any sense that Prime Minister Modi's popularity has again gone up. Last evidence which I have is from the 2024 Lok Sabha election, and I do get a sense from the data that Prime Minister Modi dipped a little bit from 2019 till 2024. Haryana election, there are enough evidences, enough signs to suggest that Prime Minister Modi did not put in the kind of effort he usually put in other state assembly elections. This is not a victory of BJP only and only in the name of Prime Minister Modi. I don't get a sign that there is a reversal if I look at Prime Minister Modi's popularity, nor I do get a sense that Prime Minister Modi's popularity has further dipped. So this, I won't say that, the debate would again become very positive in the name of brand Modi has again come back. There is some decline in his popularity, and that I'm not saying that the decline has got further decline. There is a further dip, but the dip which we saw in 2014 Lok Sabha election, it remains at that stage, at that point, even after BJP winning elections in Haryana.
And finally, what about brand Rahul Gandhi? Had the Congress won Haryana in a big way? I think the Congress, especially its different factions, would have sought to give credit to Rahul Gandhi and not to the Hudas. Rahul Gandhi was also emerging as the de facto leader. I mean, he's the leader of the opposition in parliament, but he was also emerging de facto as the political leader of the opposition. This defeat in Haryana, the failure to do well in Jammu and Kashmir, at least on its own merit, has that weakened Rahul Gandhi a little bit, or does now everything depend on Maharashtra?
No, I certainly agree that it has weakened Rahul Gandhi's image as an opposition leader a little bit, but I would stress on the point a little bit because I think one of the big reasons for Congress defeat in Haryana would be attributed to infightings within the party leaders at the state level, and maybe Rahul Gandhi's he should have put his weight in forcing or for the party to form an alliance. But I think since the main reason is going to be infightings, that is why I'm saying that there is a little dip in Rahul Gandhi's popularity or Rahul Gandhi's image as an opposition leader. I don't think that this one defeat, which is a big defeat, because the perception got created that Congress is not only winning election, it's winning big. So there will be a small dent on Rahul Gandhi's image as opposition leader, his image as the leader who can challenge Modi at the national level. But I think we should wait and watch and see how things turn out in Maharashtra Assembly election and Jharkhand Assembly election.
Let's end with something we haven't spoken about, the role of the RSS. There's been a lot of speculation. How is that relationship? What is that relationship like? Is there tension? But clearly in Haryana, the RSS did throw its weight behind the BJP. So famously, when Mr. Nadda said the BJP doesn't need the RSS, I think the BJP has also been reminded that indeed for elections, it does need the RSS.
No, true, because if we have to look at explanatory factor for BJP's victory, this would be one of the factors because many people, and I also now believe that maybe the BJP workers and RSS cadres were working on the ground. They closed their eyes, they closed their ears from the perception which got created in the state that Congress is winning big. Winning big. Normally, what happens is that if the perception gets created that the party is winning elections in a big way, there is some slackness on the part of the party which is opposing that. But I think BJP just closed their ears, they closed their eyes, and they didn't look at what the perception is getting created and the party workers. And maybe I think now we have to accept that the RSS workers also worked very hard on the ground, which led BJP get a very decent victory in Haryana.
Well, it has been a fascinating twin set of elections. We leave it there. Sanjay Kumar, always a pleasure. Thank you. Namaskar and take care.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo's Story and support independent, robust journalism.